the grand tapestry of European football, Pep Guardiola stands as both a revolutionary and an artist, a man whose influence transcends trophies and titles. His journey is not just about the teams he's led to glory, it's about the profound transformation he's brought to the very essence of the game itself. This is the story of how Pep Guardiola conquered Europe, not just with victories, but with ideas that reshaped the sport for generations to come. Pep Guardiola's journey begins in the hallowed halls of La Masia, where the seeds of his footballing philosophy were first sown. As a young boy, Pep was not just learning to play football, he was learning to think football. It was here, under the watchful eyes of some of the game's greatest minds, that Pep began to see the sport not just as a physical contest, but as a complex, beautiful game of strategy and intellect. Johan Cruyff, the Dutch maestro, would become the most significant influence on Pep's career. Cruyff's philosophy, rooted in total football, emphasized fluidity, creativity, and the intelligent use of space. For young Pep, it was a revelation, a new way of understanding football, where the ball was to be treated with respect, and every player was a key part of a larger, intricate system. Cruyff taught us to view the game from above, as if we were orchestrating a symphony. Every pass, every movement had a purpose. It was about controlling the game, controlling the ball, and ultimately controlling the opponent's mind. As Pep matured, he became the embodiment of Cruyff's footballing vision on the pitch. Deployed as a deep-lying playmaker, Guardiola's role was not just to defend or attack, but to dictate the rhythm of the game. He was the metronome, the brain, and the heartbeat of Cruyff's team. Guardiola's intelligence and vision made him indispensable to Cruyff's dream team, a side that would dominate Spanish football and win the club's first ever European Cup in 1992. This period was formative for Pep, not just as a player, but as a future manager. He was already thinking beyond the immediate game, analyzing how strategies could be refined, how systems could be perfected. Even as a player, I was always thinking about the game, about how we could improve. Cruyff gave me the freedom to explore ideas, to understand the game on a deeper level. I think that's where my passion for coaching really began. As his playing career wound down, Guardiola's thoughts turned increasingly towards coaching. He was not content to simply pass on what he had learned. He wanted to build on it, to push the boundaries of football's tactical possibilities. This led him to the next phase of his journey, his transition from player to manager. At Barcelona B, Guardiola began to shape his footballing ideology. It was a laboratory for his ideas, a place where he could experiment with formations, pressing strategies, and positional play. He wasn't just preparing these young players for the first team, he was preparing himself for the challenge of leading at the highest level. In 2008, at just 37 years old, Guardiola was handed the reins of one of the world's most prestigious football clubs. It was a bold move by Barcelona, entrusting their future to a young, relatively inexperienced coach. But those who knew Pep understood that this was not a gamble. It was the beginning of something extraordinary. From day one, Guardiola set about transforming Barcelona. He made tough decisions, letting go of big names like Ronaldinho and Deco, and placing his faith in younger players like Sergio Busquets and Pedro. But perhaps his most significant decision was to build the team around a young Lionel Messi, positioning him in a new role that would change the course of football history. Guardiola's tactical innovations at Barcelona were revolutionary. The 4-3-3 with Messi as a false nine was a stroke of genius, allowing the team to dominate possession, create overloads in midfield, and unleash Messi's full potential. But it wasn't just about tactics, it was about creating a culture of excellence where every detail mattered and every player was fully committed to the collective goal. Under Guardiola, Barcelona didn't just win, they redefined football. The team's performances were a masterclass in controlled aggression, intelligent pressing, and fluid one-touch passing that became known as tiki-taka. Their success culminated in 2 Champions League victories, where they outclassed Sir Alex Ferguson's Manchester United, one of Europe's most formidable teams. Pep's Barcelona was the best team I've ever faced. They were mesmerizing, always in control, always one step ahead. It wasn't just the players, it was the way they played, the way they understood each other on the pitch. That was Pep's doing. By 2011, Guardiola had built a dynasty at Barcelona, but even as he celebrated, there was a sense that he was already thinking about the future, about how to keep evolving, how to stay ahead. For Pep, success was not a destination, it was a journey, one that required constant innovation. After 4 years of unprecedented success, Guardiola decided it was time to step away from Barcelona. He needed a break, a chance to recharge and reflect. But even during his sabbatical in New York, Pep's mind was never far from football. He was already planning his next move, studying the game from a fresh perspective, and preparing to take on a new challenge. In 2013, Guardiola returned to the game, this time in the heart of Europe at Bayern Munich. It was a club with a rich history, a strong identity, and high expectations. expectations. But Pep saw it as the perfect opportunity to take his ideas to a new level, to test his philosophy in a different environment. At Bayern, Guardiola faced a different kind of challenge. The Bundesliga was more physical, more direct, and Bayern's squad was built around a different style of play. But Pep was undeterred. He adapted his philosophy to fit the strengths of his new team, introducing concepts like positional play, where every player had a specific zone to control, and encouraging fluid, interchangeable roles across the pitch. Under Guardiola, Bayern became a team of precision, blending the efficiency of German football with the creativity and flair of Pep's Barcelona. Domestically, they were unstoppable, winning league titles with a style that was both beautiful and ruthlessly effective. But Europe posed a different challenge. In the Champions League, Guardiola's Bayern often came tantalizingly close to glory, only to fall short in the final stages. These defeats were painful, but they were also instructive. For Pep, every loss was a lesson, a chance to refine his approach, to think about the game in new ways. In 2016, Guardiola embarked on his next great adventure, Manchester City. Here in the Premier League, he faced a different kind of challenge, a league known for its physicality, its unpredictability, and its deep tactical diversity. But for Pep, it was the perfect stage to continue his evolution as a manager. Pep's first season in England was a baptism of fire. The Premier League's intensity was unlike anything he had faced before. His ideas, while brilliant, needed time to take root, but Guardiola is not a man who shies away from challenges. He knew that to succeed, he had to adapt, to fine-tune his approach, and to build a team that could not only dominate possession, but also withstand the physical rigors of the league. Guardiola's transformation of Manchester City was both swift and profound. He rebuilt the squad, bringing in players who could execute his vision with precision. He redefined roles, with De Bruyne becoming the heartbeat of the team and Sterling emerging as a lethal winger. And most importantly, he instilled a culture of excellence where every detail mattered and every game was an opportunity to improve. In the 2017-2018 season, Manchester City didn't just win the Premier League, they set a new standard. With 100 points, they became the first team in English football history to reach such heights. This was Guardiola's masterpiece, a team that combined the technical brilliance of his Barcelona days with the relentless intensity of the Premier League. It was a triumph of vision, hard work, and tactical genius. But even as City dominated domestically, Europe remained the elusive prize. Year after year, Guardiola's side came close, only to fall short in moments of fine margins. For Pep, these near misses were bitter pills to swallow, but they also fueled his desire to perfect his approach, to finally conquer the continent with Manchester City. The Champions League is the hardest competition. It's not just about being the best team, it's about handling every moment, every pressure. We've come close, but we're not there yet. But I believe in this team and what we're building. We will get there. In 2023, everything fell into place. After years of near misses and heartbreaking exits, Manchester City, under Pep Guardiola's guidance, finally conquered Europe. It was a campaign defined by tactical brilliance, resilience, and the culmination of years of meticulous planning and hard work. The final against Inter Milan was a masterclass in tactical discipline. Guardiola had learned from past experiences, crafting a game plan that neutralized Inter's strengths and exploited their weaknesses. City played with precision, patience, and a deep understanding of the game's finer details. When the final whistle blew, it wasn't just a victory, it was the culmination of a journey that began over a decade ago. For Guardiola, this was more than just another trophy. It was validation of his philosophy, his methods, and his unwavering belief in the beauty of the game. It was a triumph not just for Manchester City, but for the ideas that Pep had been cultivating for years. Ideas that had finally reached their full expression on Europe's grandest stage. Pep Guardiola's legacy is not confined to the trophies he has won or the records he has broken. It is in the way he has changed football, inspiring a new generation of coaches, players, and fans to see the game as he does, as a beautiful, intricate dance of strategy, skill, and creativity. Pep has always been more than just a coach. He's a thinker, a visionary. Working with him, you learn to see football differently, to appreciate the details, to understand the importance of every movement, every pass. His influence goes beyond the pitch. It's about how you think about the game. As Pep Guardiola continues his journey, his influence only grows. His ideas have permeated every level of the game, from the youth academies of Barcelona to the tactical approaches of top clubs across Europe. He has set new standards of excellence, showing that football is not just a sport, but a craft, one that requires intelligence, passion, and an unwavering commitment to the pursuit of perfection. This is not just a story of victories, it's a story of vision, innovation, and an unwavering belief in the beautiful game. Pep Guardiola's journey through European football is a testament to what can be achieved when passion meets genius. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories from the world of football.